I was born in 1985, but my childhood actually begun, of what I can remember, in 1989, and I lived through my childhood until 2003 until I turned 18.
How many people were in your family?
In my immediate family, I grew up with my sister and also a single mother who raised me.
What was a typical day like when you were younger?
When I was younger, a typical day was, especially during school time, I would get up every morning. I was walking to school by myself by the age of 5, so I would walk to school. And then after I got out of school, I would have to come home and do chores. And once I finished with my chores, I was able to go outside and play with my friends. So my main big thing was going outside and playing with my friends, staying active. School was fun. I can definitely say that it did have its challenging moments at school. When one thing that I can remember is reading. I wasn't really great at reading. So my first grade teacher, she worked and worked and worked with me, and by second grade, I was in accelerated reading class. So school is definitely, I learned a lot of things in school, definitely from the teachers, but also kind of learned some bad habits from my friends as well that was in school.
Describe a typical school day.
A typical school day. I want to go back to elementary because that's when I first started school, and that's where I made the biggest impression on me. But my teachers were like in school. I had some good teachers, but it was one teacher that stood out to me. Actually, two teachers. Miss Beatty, which was my first grade teacher. She stood out a lot, and also my second grade teacher, Miss Mathis. Um, that was basically, they were both my homeroom teachers. We didn't have a lot of technologies back in the days on how kids have it. Granted, I was in school in the early 90s, so we had computers, but the games we used to play used to be Oregon Trail, number munchers, things like that. We didn't have a broad range where we can surf the internet and things like that. It was very basic. I didn't really join too many extracurriculum activities because, again, I did come from a mother with a single mother that was raising two children on her own, and she had to work a lot of times, so she was unable to take me to extracurriculum activities. Normally, what I would do after school is, first and foremost, I would have to do my homework. That was a must. After school, once I finished my homework, I had the responsibility. I had to do my chores, and then once my chores were done, I had about a good 3-4 hours outside until I had to wake up and do it all over again.
What kind of work did your father do?
My father was not in my life, so I'm unsure exactly what he did for a living.
What kind of work did your mother do?
My mom, she actually worked at an insurance company, Prime here, on Highway 100. Every job she mainly had was clerical, rather in a hospital setting or a corporate setting.
Who took primary care of the kids?
I would say it was kind of split between two. My mom, definitely, she was the primary person, was the breadwinner in the household. I was, again, raised by a single mother. I have an older sister. She's 6 years older than me. So it was kind of her responsibility to pick up on certain things, when she turned 13 that my mom wasn't able to do anymore. So my sister, that was the person that I spent a lot of my summer vacations with. Also, being after school, that was the person that watched me until my mom got off of work. So it was kind of like a dual role between my mother and my sister.
What was dinner like?
Typically, basically, almost every night we always ate at the family as a table. During dinner, my mom would always ask the same question every night: what was interesting that happened today? And we normally go over we always go over what happened, what we experienced, whether it was with friends or teachers. And now that I'm thinking about it, I feel as though we never asked my mom what interesting happened to her. I guess she was just more concerned about us. I can typically say we did eat at the same time. I can't really say that we didn't eat at the same time every day. I just knew that around 6:30, food was gonna be done, and I knew that we had to eat. Dinner was always done an hour prior to us going to bed, which was 8:30. Cause my mom was real big on you can't eat and go right to sleep. So around 6:30, the food was done. Cause my mom got off of work about 4:30. My mom did majority basically of the cooking, and I know when she cooks, the food was gonna be great. So it really, I was just open. If she say food ready, I'm coming in the house or I'm coming downstairs to get myself a plate.
What do you remember about world events?
One world event that stuck out to me that I'm still living through now would be 9/11. I was 16 years old, and when they make that statement, they are definitely right. Basically every American citizen knew exactly where they were at in 9/11. I was 16 years old. I didn't go to school that day because I was sick, and I remember waking up and seeing they had just hit the Pentagon, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, what? They just hit the Pentagon? And then less than maybe, I want to say, I can't even count the minutes, but I know it happened so rapidly. Next, they said that the World Trade Center got hit. Within the same token of me being up no more than 20 minutes, they both got hit. And when you read that banner that America is under attack, you feel like it's a surreal. It's surreal, like an out of body feeling. That this can't be real, but it's actually real. So I remember going downstairs, and my mom was home for some reason that day. And I asked her, I said, Mama, you see the news? What's going on? Is this true? What's going on? I thought it was. I just knew this couldn't be true. That I just seen 2 airplanes run into buildings in America, and the casualty rate is going up. And I asked her, I said, is this real? She said, yeah, it's real. And from September 11th, 2001, since that has happened, the America that I know and I'm still living in has never been the same. They can say America is on the right path to recovery and things like that, but we know that changed the history for America.
What do you remember about national events?
National events, I would take it as national events that I do recall is presidency. When I first actually started paying attention, being born in 1985, the first president that I recognized and I knew for sure this was my president of the United States was William Clinton, short for Bill Clinton. The next president that we had was George Bush. After George Bush, Barack Obama. And our latest, and hopefully is better than what he speaks out his mouth sometimes, because it seems like he's speaking out his butt, is Donald Trump, who was just elected. As you can see, from the first time I was able to vote, I voted Democrat, not just because of the reasons that voting Democrat is just for Democrat, it's just for black people. I did my research and I believed in these presidents, and the economy was very good. When Clinton was in office, a lot of single mothers got off welfare, were able to get jobs, were able to get trading classes to help them get off of welfare. My mother was one. With those programs that Bill Clinton established with the welfare, with the state county assistance. It gave my mom the ability to get off of welfare, to actually pick up a trade, a typing trade. She learned a course in typing and computer technology. This was in the early 90s. So computers or technology was just becoming in, and they gave her the opportunity. So that's why I really wanted to go with another Clinton office. But you know, the people have spoken. They voted Donald Donald Trump to be our next chief officer, basically. So we'll see what he does.
What did you fear the most?
When I was younger, I would say crime. Being born and living in the early 90s, rape was really high for young girls, so that was something that I was always afraid of. We took safety prevention classes to prevent that if a stranger does come. Basically what you're supposed to do, but I think crime was the biggest thing for me.
What do you remember about the world of sports?
One thing that I remember about world sports was the Olympics. One sport that I was always keyed on was figure skating. I love figure skating until I actually went to the Ice Pedic Center here in Wisconsin, and I realized I couldn't ice skate. I was more of a person that enjoyed watching it than actually being able to do it.
What kind of music did you listen to?
I would say when I first really paid attention to music and really started enjoying it, a girl group was Destiny's Child when they came out. Mainly I listened to it on the radio, cassette, or I would record the song from the radio, because back in the days you were able to record the song on a cassette from the radio. Far as with rapper, early 90s, 98 I want to say, was when the Hot Boys came out, and I was first introduced to Lil Wayne, and I've been liking him ever since he came out.
What clothing styles were popular when you were younger, and what hairstyles did you wear?
As far as with clothes, name brand was expensive in the early 90s, and the urban wear that we wore that would consider you as being fly was Used, which was a blue jean company, had all different types of patches. Those were the name brand jeans back in the days. Used, Guess, Carl Kanai, Cross Color is the urban clothes I remember. And what was the second part of the question?
What kind of hairstyles did you wear?
Braids were in African braids were in the early 90s, the big, we used to call them dookie braids. It's about 4 or 5 braids in your head, super big, like jumbo braids basically. That was in. Also colored hair, getting your hair African braided with colored hair in your braids were really big. Finger waves, wet sets was typically the styles I wore. Curls, those were the styles that were out in the 1990s.
What kind of gadgets/technology did you interact with?
When I was younger, the first technology I interacted with was the school computers we had. I believe we did have Apple computers in school at that time. When I was home, I would say the first game console that I really knew how to play would be the first original Nintendo.
Was the world a better place when you were younger? Why or why not?
I would say definitely yes. When I was younger growing up, you talked out your problems. Very rarely you had to actually fight someone. That was the last thing you definitely wanted to do. But now, today, things have changed. Our youth no longer talks out anything. The first thing they go to is resort to violence. And I'm not stating that's all our youth that's growing up, but what I've been seeing is definitely majority of our African American youth that are actually going through this, that don't have the patience or having pride for all the wrong things. So I can definitely say when I was younger, the world was a safer place. I didn't have to worry about me getting out the car and me thinking that I'm going to get carjacked at the gas station. When I was growing up, you could actually leave your keys in the ignition and go in the gas station. That's how Wisconsin was. That's how Milwaukee was. Now things have changed. You can't even go to certain places at certain times without thinking that you are going to be attacked. And that's a bad feeling.